Well, hello, all of you. Welcome to Unit Control Room. We are here today to discuss uh, on this podcast with Geeks Assembled. It's Lee and me, and Lee's cold. Lee has picked up a viral infection, and he's sharing them with his community in the UK. So,
Yeah.
um, congratulations, Lee. Thank you for expanding our podcast. We're a multitude now.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is the penultimate season 1, season 15, season uh 49. Anyway, like a bunch of different numbers come to mind where when you're regarding this. Let's just say this is the Doctor Who Legend of Ruby Sunday episode, and it's got Judy Gawa and Millie Gibson and another another past sort of companion back, Gemma Redgrave. And so yeah, what is your uh, what is your opinion, and what do you think of the bringing back unit to deal with this particular problem?
Uh, well, it's a little too late now to save the series, but if the episodes had been like this all along the series, it would have been getting a lot of viewing figures. But there is a few things I just don't understand. Some answers what I answered again. No explanation. We all knew it was such an easy anagram. We all
Well,
knew weeks ago it was Sutek.
I didn't know. I was hoping for Susan Foreman.
No, 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 that's never going to happen. It's her birthday today, I think.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Caroline Ford's birthday, I think, today. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you're right.
yeah. The episode did drag a bit at the beginning.
Hmm.
It was just all talking that until the last 10 minutes when it all kicked off. Um, no real explanation why Susan Triad was seen through all of time. There's no explanation for that. Um, yeah, and they seem to be going through a lot of scientific advisors, don't they?
There were a few.
So, got a few. A new one in this episode. We visit Morris.
Yep.
Um, also, as well, stealing the holodeck as a time window from Star Trek.
Hmm.
As soon as he walked through that, I thought that's holodeck.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's just a little too late now. Um, Shooty isn't, in my opinion, a good actor. Um, he's a little bit wooden sometimes. I think I've said this before. He's got, and he always goes into cry mode, which he nearly did this episode. But I think he held it back. But, it was nice to see Mel again. You know, a little nod to the olden days. But yeah, it was. I mean, the title, "The Legend of Ruby Sunday," turns out it's a VHS tape. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I thought, wow. But yeah, there. it's I say for the last 10 minutes was when it really picked up for me with having Gabriel Wolf back as the voice of Sutek.
Hmm.
But as yet, there's no explanations why. So we may get explanations next week, and we may not, knowing Russell T Davies.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it was more watchable than the things that have gone before, shall I say? Uh, so back to you, Susan.
All right. Well, I did like the time window thing. I thought that was great fun. That started out as that big dial thing with the little view screen in the middle aboard the TARDIS. And so when they you know he the doctor saw the time window that they created, he's like, this has been cobbled together. I'm like, no, it looks actually a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, he was a bit. He
uh,
was a bit. He was putting them down a bit, wasn't he?
yeah, that was interesting, like, yeah, because the the one that was in the TARDIS was just a round sort of dial-y thing. And but I was glad that they got to see the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That's pretty amazing. Um, they and of course you Brits, you guys are always worried about Brexit, and so you're all like, you're all like looking into we Americans and the signing of the Declaration of Independence, because you know that it all started then. And all kind it was our fault. We're a bunch of ungrateful colonists and stuff. So anyway, that's funny. But it's the other thing that's really great about that um is that a it was another sort of nod to the timeliness of Unit's creation of their great big tower. And I really like their big tower. It is the Avengers. I mean, so many of these things are directly like pulled out of other science fiction at this point. I mean, it used to be that everything borrowed from Doctor Who. Now Doctor Who's borrowing from everybody else. That's okay. Um, and when Sutek came back, I liked the fact that the Anubis, or what's the other, the dog faced god in,
Sutek.
uh no, but the one that's in the Egyptian mythology. I think it's Anubis,
Right, yeah.
but anyway, that that they used that god with actually furry face, not the kind of smooth complexion of the way he
Well, but,
was.
well, Sutek back in the day with Pyramids of Mars did have a head of a jackal.
Oh, okay, so that was okay, good. Well,
He was. He was.
they used the furry face instead of a smooth skinned, because all of the alien or excuse me, archaeology based science fiction like Stargate and everybody else has a smooth faced alien that's that Sutek and the other uh the other Egyptians were. But this one was furry and he looked like a real animal. And so that was really that was really cool for me, because I know that was different from the way it's represented in other ways. And
Oh, also, did you take note that the sort of retconned Sutek now? He is. no longer just the destroyer, the god of death with your sirens now. He is the father of all gods.
Yeah, there was that was kind of a jump because
Yeah,
Set was not the father, Ra was the father.
yeah. So
But
I don't know if they haven't done their history, looking up.
well, archaeology is especially Egyptology is something that I'm really fond of,
Yeah, same
but
here.
only because, it is so stinking cool. And the other thing that was really good about this episode was they brought back Carla and they had some sort of resolution to the shit that went on in the other episode. And I mean that needed to happen. They needed to restore those relationships because otherwise you're like, the fuck
Well,
is gonna fix this?
we're talking about 73 yards.
Yeah, 73 yards.
Well, none of that. What happened in 73 yards happened.
But the reality of the relationships need to be reestablished now.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
You got to
Uh,
go back to all of those people, the ones that are important anyway, because otherwise you're looking at these things. You're going to look at these relationships askance. Like that's not really the way they feel anymore. And the other thing that was really interesting was how dark. Uh, you were thinking that Sue Tech would be dark and scary, but wasn't it Flood that was? I mean, she went in there and she wouldn't give Ruby's granny any tea, and she's just like, yeah. And then it all got super dark and scary in the apartment, and the
uh,
lights went out. Flood
and
has got to be somebody. Flood has got to be a god.
well, she did say when she was hanging up a coat, I always found it. I always hide away. It's a lot easier for me to hide away. And the same thing the doctor said about hiding away. The Time Lord's hide away. Now,
Huh.
is she a Time Lord?
No, I think that she is another one of the gods that they're talking about.
Well, I don't know. We see it wasn't explained there, was it? We might get an answer next week. You never know.
Yeah, but Flood was scarier than all of them. She was scarier than that scene was, to me, was actually scarier than anything that went on in the unit tower, anything that went on at Sutek.
Yeah.
Sutek was totally a ripoff of Apple and Amazon and Tesla and all those guys with their super amazing Google, all those computer technology and car, all those tech companies with all their great innovations, um, and their meetings. But the fact that there was nobody in the audience and that they were running a laugh track or something, I thought,
Well,
why? Anyway,
she wasn't Sutek.
no, she was the old guy that was
She was.
the harbinger of Sutek. Yeah.
It brings the gift of death.
Uh-huh. There were a few harbingers.
Yeah.
And that was kind of weird. Like that whole uh what's your name? Holly Harbinger or whatever? Harbinger?
Harriet Harriet Harbinger.
Harriet Harbinger. And like you're all like, that's cool. That's a pretty cool character, but she wasn't, didn't give us much chance to get to know the real person be inside the character,
I mean,
because it really, these things need to be longer, and the seasons need to be longer. I mean, anymore it's just like
And for me as well, for me, the only overbearing arc of the season is the Susan Triad, but there's no explanation.
Yeah, I mean, she did appear in a million different places. And if that's just her dreaming, what a powerful dreamer she really is.
Yeah. Also, as well, I never knew that the TARDIS could fly.
Oh, I did because of the way it was in with Donna, chasing the Santa.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that's because he was chasing the car. He did that to that, but all this season, the TARDIS has not dematerialized. It's
Except for that
flown.
once.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's because Sutek was wrapped around it. I don't know,
Oh man, maybe.
but yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
that
all
and it was always making that weird noise.
it also always instead of dematerializing, just always crashing.
So where I work, there's like this weird noise like that all all day long. It's like you hear that groan, and I'm like, there's got to be an alien in this freaking office building. Ah.
Oh,
Anyway, so I did like Lenny Rush playing Morris Gibbons. I like the fact that there's been a little disability representation. That's freaking sweet, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
but why didn't they bring the other girl back in the wheelchair?
I don't know,
I'm
but
missing us.
I know you're missing Osgood. And but yeah, so what else? Anything else? Let's favorite moments.
What was the reveal of Sutek? Um, but we sort of I know I don't know the
You.
doctor was doing the TARDIS anagram, but we mentioned that a few weeks ago. We mentioned also Sutek a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
So the anagrams weren't that difficult to get because we all know Russell T Davies loves an anagram.
Uh-huh.
Um, and if it was going to be Sutek, you wondered how they were going to bring him back. And I
Yeah.
think they brought him back successfully at the end of this episode. Um, Still
Uh,
no explanation why it's snowing.
no.
Um, Also, why is it a fixed point in time that he can't go back? He did go back because he's there. He's there on the recording, so he did go back.
Right.
So why does he keep saying I can't go back? It's a fixed point in time.
Right.
So I don't understand that. So, and I don't know why he was dressed as a greaser biker. Is it every episode he's worn a different costume? The budget must have just been blown on all his clothes.
Uh,
Yeah, but to say it was, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. But there's still a few things what are not. Uh, so up to now, out of all the episodes we've had, this has been the best one up to now,
hmm.
in my opinion.
Did you like it more than halfway?
Halfway, what's halfway?
Did you like it more than halfway?
What up through the episode?
No, I mean like more than halfway up the scale. 0 to 10.
Uh, well, that we'll see when I do the score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
I say
because
I did.
I don't think you voted any. I don't think you've, excuse me, not voted. rated any of these episodes above a 5 yet. So
Well,
I mean, here's me hoping that you're
and
finally enjoying this shit, because like it is the best shit out there. I mean, they really are. I really do love this. I love the fact that they've involved Mel. I think that that's just so cool. And I love the fact that they've got you know Kate back. I just think that Kate needs they just anytime that they can involve Unit, that's awesome. And I just want them to run into Torchwood somewhere along the lines, you know? I th- that that's a desire of mine. That's what I want to see happen. And I also want to see them talk about K9. I'd like to see something brought up about K9 at some point. And yeah,
well,
I have my desires, and Susan's got to come back.
well, she's 84 today,
Hmm.
Caroline Ford.
Isn't
But
she?
what was going to say? Oh yeah, why on earth? Because it felt being shoehorned into the episode. Rose Noble. There was
Uh,
no need for her to be there.
because
She's
she was
she's
hired
not,
by Unit right away.
she's not a genius like Morris. I mean, she's supposed to be 15.
Yeah, but she was hired to be because she's got all that alien connectivity going on.
Mm, I don't know. I just felt there was no need for her to be there. She didn't do anything, and for a 15-year-old to have been uh, transitioned into a woman at 15, that's not possible. It's illegal over here.
Oh,
You have to be an adult for
hmm.
transitioning, not a schoolboy. But yeah, I just felt, what was the point of her being there?
Because she has the alien connectivity.
Well, I tell you now,
Because that's a really big deal.
if she doesn't do anything in the next episode, it'll be the same thing. Why is she there? Yeah. Well, apart from that,
Because there aren't a lot of you know great soldiers or you know uh bankers or chartered accountants or you know um roaming adventurers who really have a lot of connectivity with aliens, but
mm,
Rose seems to. I think
uh,
that that's the only reason, is that, they're trying to keep an eye on what she's got going on upstairs, because, it is important to know, you know, especially for an organization that, you know, is basically like um
I
like
mean,
the Agents of Shield, or
if the
or
if the
like the
brigadier
super go ahead.
if the brigadier was still alive in charge of unit, he wouldn't have all the public wandering about unit HQ too.
Mm. Yeah, I know,
It's
but
a secret organisation, and I just didn't understand why the doctor zapped it so Ruby's mother could come into. I thought, well, what? It's a secret organisation. It's fraught with danger. Why bring her into the danger zone?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Yeah, I know
He
Alistair.
he did,
Alistair, Alistair wouldn't have allowed it.
but he would have, if the doctor would have done it, and the brigadier wouldn't have had any sort of, you know,
The brigadier says the brigadier would still not have allowed it because the doctor respects the brigadier.
yeah, yeah, he does. That's true.
That to
Because
me didn't show.
everybody should respect the brigadier.
I mean, yeah, and Kate Stewart there didn't get the respect off the doctor. Then I
Mm.
mean, really, she is equal to Alistair now.
Yeah.
But there was no respect there. He just zap zap, come on in. I thought, wow.
All right. So, so anything else you want to add? I don't know if I've got. Uh,
No, I mean, I wonder if they'll have any mummies.
I wonder too.
They were roaming around in pyramids of Mars, wasn't they?
Yeah, and they were there in the audio. I mean, they
I
were
don't think
talked about in the
yeah,
audio.
yeah. Also, as well, it was a
Yeah,
fleeting comment from the doctor. So he's never ever visited Susan since he left her on Earth after the Dalek invasion. Well, I'm sorry, you had
that's not true, because like
yeah,
he no, there was a fifth
there was
Doctor story. So five doctors. There was, yeah.
there's been stuff with. So I thought when he said that, I thought, well, you've sort of contradicted the sort of things we know for
I,
what's
I,
fact.
I, yeah, especially the audios, like all of
Yeah.
those eighth doctor granddaughter audios with Alex and everything. Yeah,
So I mean, are they just dissing the audios now?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, it would be really good to see how this Sutek as a baddie measures up to this Sutek as a baddie in the audios.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe we should listen to a Sutek audio this next week just to see, for comparison's sake. Yeah,
it's played. Well, Gabriel Wolf plays him in the audios as well. So
I know. I'm aware. Oh, I feel so bad for you that you're so under the weather,
I'm burning up.
and you're are you having to work tomorrow?
Yes,
Oh, poorly,
it only came on this morning. I
poorly.
don't.
He's poorly.
Oh,
Oh,
Susan did a funny there.
oh, sorry. Oh dear.
Oh,
Well, I know that that usually, I would strongly suggest doing a hot toddy, because that's what our beef dad, our Jeffrey, used to always suggest. Hot
yeah.
toddies were the best idea, but
Well, we'll see what happens.
how do you
Um,
feel like that?
yeah,
A little whiskey and lemon juice?
I don't like whiskey.
Oh.
Not on a school night.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, perhaps take a very hot bath with a lot of steam.
Yeah, yeah, could do.
Mm. Oh, poor dear. Anyway, so what's your final say and score about the Legend of Ruby Sunday?
Well, I felt it was a little. too late for, as I said, to save this series. If the action and the writing should have been up there from episode one. Um, but I did like it. It's great to have a classic villain back. So I still, I'm still struggling to like Shooty as the Doctor.
I know.
Uh, um, so there's a few things what I don't agree with in the episode. So oh, I'll give it a 7.
Above a 5. Finally. Red letter day, guys. Red letter day. All of our watchers and viewers out there. We got Lee watching a Doctor Who episode and it finally went above 5. All right. So, um yeah, I think that that would be really cool to see how it if it comes up even more next episode. I enjoyed it. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. The reason that I count it down is because of that it wasn't Susan Foreman and that Susan Twist really was. I don't know why I mean, I knew why they chose to do it the way that they did, using the actor's name to string us along to create something to attach the character to also continue to string along to Sutek. But yeah, and I did like the furry Sutek, that furry jackal face or wolf face. That was great. Dog face. Um, but I think that there was a need. Oh, bless
Excuse
you,
me.
Sauji. There needs to be there needs to be a big time resolution, and there has to be a lot more jeopardy, and they have to tell where the other uh they have to start explaining where the other scientific advisors are gone.
I mean,
And
whatever happened to Malcolm?
yeah, they were using a scale called a Malcolm scale.
Yeah,
I mean, they referenced him, but like, yeah, talking about him and seeing him are two different things. And then the other thing is I think that they should try and bring back Susan Foreman next episode somehow. But that's just me.
shoot.
That's just me. And happy birthday, Caroline Ford. So much. We love you so much here at Geeks Assembled. At least I do. And yeah, I want to see them honor the stuff that you did because you were the proper alien. You were a proper alien. It was very cool. Very cool. And let's see. The other situation that I'd like to encourage them to do um is layer on top of layer of development on um on the characters that we've got right now. I mean, we want to see this Ruby Sunday thing resolved this season. So,
Well, yeah,
because
I think.
otherwise she turns into Clara. And
Well, as far as I know, Ruby Sunday leaves next episode anyway.
oh, really?
As far as I know, she's
Hmm.
only a one season companion apparently.
Oh, well, they
Unless,
didn't really do
unless
enough to like create. Why did they make her a mystery? Why didn't they just make her cool? I don't understand. Anyway, so for those reasons, it's 8.5. Thank you everybody for watching. Enjoyed our video. Leave us a comment or like, or if you like us or don't like us, if you hit the like or dislike, please send the algorithm knows we're here. And hit the subscribe button and the bell. And then you can receive notification that we've turned out another video. And join us later on this weekend. We are going to be discussing Godzilla -1, which is an absolutely amazing movie. And so yeah, kaiju on and yeah. And thanks, Lee, for joining me. I know you didn't feel good, but thank you for coming on here.
Yeah,
And next week maybe we'll do some Sutek audios to go with this. Anyway, thanks for all of that, and join us on social media. We're everywhere. And finally, if you want to join us. Okay, that's it.